This is the Dana Show.
Third hour of the show, danaradio.com, 971talk.com/Dana, 866-455-9797. We've got Mailbag of Hate on the way. Did you guys see the latest headlines concerning Obamacare? Trader Joe's is cutting hours. Part-time workers are losing health coverage because of Obamacare. And I've been hearing from some birds in Jeff City that, even, I guess I'm still mad about this. It's going to take a long time. I'm still mad. After the tax cut failure, after the Paycheck Protection Act fizzled out, after our Second Amendment Preservation Act fizzled out, then I hear that the same cats, like, Senator Tom Dempsey, who are involved in trying to push Medicaid expansion through via the President's Select Buddy Committee, are now talking about, maybe Medicaid expansion is the best way to go again. And I know that there are a number of Republicans in Jefferson City that support that from Missouri. Virginia's getting ready to have they're going to have their final battle, I think, over Medicaid expansion coming up. This is devastating. It will be devastating. And to talk more about this, my rock doc, Dr. Eric Nepute, is in here. Of course, you can catch him. Wellness Matters every Sunday from 3 to 4 right here on FM News Talk 97.1. Good doctor. Good afternoon.
Dana, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's good to see you.
Good to be seen.
Glad you're able to be here. And we were going on and on during break, which is sometimes I'm so glad there's no audio on the cameras when we're going on break, because we were we were laughing about Trader Joe's and it's also hitting SeaWorld, like Shamu's. Screw you, Shamu. These are the latest casualties in the Obamacare fight, Obamacare expansion, and we have a number of individuals who are in our state legislature who are trying to somehow argue that, Medicaid expansion is totally different from Obamacare. We're going to have a lot of control. You're going to get such better care, such better coverage. Now, Dr. Nepute, being that this is your industry,
it is,
that you kind of have to scratch your head when you hear that stuff.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think the Heritage Foundation said it best when they said, if something sounds too good to be true, it is. Skepticism is the key. And I'm going to tell you, as a physician, I'm scared to death of what's coming down the pipe with this deal. The American people have been sold a bill of goods that says, just like you said, that we're going to have better coverage. We're going to have, don't worry about the cost. The federal government's going to help us with some of that. But there's so much unaccounted cost in there with administrative fees and other things.
Yeah.
We're talking tens of millions of dollars that who's going to pay for that? We are.
Yeah.
It's really a scary deal, and it's cutting our benefits. It's cutting our access to providers, to real good healthcare providers. And like I always say, on our program, the problem is that common sense is not very common anymore.
No.
And we have such a big problem with healthcare. We're spending $2.7 trillion a year right now. And I don't know if you know this, but out of the top 100 industrialized countries on the planet, we rank 42nd. Algeria is healthier than we are. How's that possible?
Algeria.
Look it up. It's on the World Health Organization website.
Dang.
It's horrible. And do you think that throwing more money at that broken system is going to fix it?
Yeah.
That's what they're thinking.
Yeah, exactly. It's like taking all of the crappiest parts of healthcare. Let's just make these even bigger, because that makes so much sense. And like with we were talking about the Medicaid expansion as well, because I've been going to you once a week,
Sure.
and I do my Myers cocktails, which, no, it's not heroin, you people. No, it's, you get your vitamins. It's a vitamin injection. I take my oral supplementation. I do my vitamin injection. You straighten me all out. You make sure, which you told me I was really healthy. And I was really, am I like the valedictorian of health? I take it very seriously.
You're pretty close.
Yeah, see? I'm like, yeah,
Number two.
woo!
Kevin, I think, is number one.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No. But I'm wondering, especially like in this state, using Missouri as an example, you have Medicaid expansion kick in. How is that going to affect other individuals being able to go out, seek doctors, visit doctors, just for wellness? Because people really underestimate and underappreciate how important that wellness is.
Well, let's talk about what I call the Medicaid vicious cycle. So let's say Jane Doe has Medicaid insurance, and Jane Doe has a chronic condition, like let's say she has migraines, diabetes, whatever. So since most doctors already, and especially elite doctors, do not accept Medicaid because the reimbursement is so low that we can't keep our lights on when we do, that Jane Doe then is forced to go to the hospital or a clinic to get checked out. Now Jane Doe goes to the hospital, let's say she's having a migraine attack. Well, they've got to rule out everything under the sun, so they're going to do MRIs, CTs, blood work. We're talking $20,000, $30,000, and even $40,000 in one day of going to the hospital. I don't know if people know that or not, but it can literally cost that much to be seen at the hospital, and it's Medicaid. who's going to pay for it?
Right.
The taxpayers are.
Right.
So then what happens is this Jane Doe gets this diagnosis after they've ran all these tests, they've done all this tens of thousands of dollars of testing on her, and they said, here, take this drug, which, by the way, within 2 weeks she's going to be addicted to, and then she's going to have an addiction problem. Now she's going to be addicted to opioids the rest of her life, and over the cost of this woman's career, it's going to cost the taxpayers probably somewhere north of $100,000 to take care of her. That's the system we're in right now. What I'm saying, and what I talk about on my show on Sundays at 3, is the new system. The system is find the cause of the problem, fix the cause, and even if before a cause comes, prevent it. You see?
Right.
And then with that system, it may cost a couple $100 to $1,000 for the lifetime of this person. And here's the thing. Even if she is still on Medicaid and the taxpayers have to pay for it, Dana, do you think the American public would rather pay $100,000 or $1,000? Which makes sense? I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
So that's what's happening. People are getting restricted in the care that they can have, the providers they can see, and like I said, we are already one of the sickest countries on the planet. We spend more money than every other country combined. And we're still 42nd out of 100. How's that possible? And how's throwing another $2 trillion on that going to fix the problem? It's ridiculous.
No.
Common sense is just totally out the window on this deal.
Absolutely, yeah, and I love that too, because everyone, I heard this from the left going into these debates over healthcare that these, you can't just use the emergency room in the hospital as your wellness doc. That's what you're setting it up to do. That's exactly what you're doing with this.
Dana, this is a bailout to the 90th power. This is a healthcare bailout. We bailed out the auto industries, we bailed out the banks, and let me just ask you, how'd that work out for us? That's what's going on.
So great. We got so much return on our investment there with we didn't. That was all.
But we need an answer, and the answer really is this: we need more people less sick. Period. I mean, that's as simple as it is, and it goes for education. Mm-hmm. We have to properly educate people. I mean, we've got generations of people that are used to being on Medicaid and used to being on all these other, programs that they're entitled to, and we've got to change that.
Yeah.
We got to teach them.
And this is going to run more doctors, I would think, especially after we've heard the president say he promised everybody, come into this, I'm going to sweeten the pot, I'm not going to cut your reimbursement rates. Well, they've already cut them twice, the reimbursement rates for Medicaid.
Yes,
this is going to run more. How is this going to impact the profession?
Do you know how many doctors are retiring early because of what's coming down the pipe? Here's the big trend that we're going to see. You're already not getting access to good doctors. Real specialists in healthcare because Medicaid doesn't pay for it. Mm-hmm. Now what's going to happen is these elite doctors are going to start closing their doors or minimizing their exposure. They're going to go to these concierge practices where you may still have to pay for insurance every year, but you pay this doctor a flat fee like you would an attorney for a retainer, and then you still pay monthly for that doctor or every time you go. That's the trend that's going to happen. And you know who's going to have the best healthcare? People who can afford it.
Right.
So we've got to change the fundamental aspects of health. I mean, I always tell folks, don't tread on my health, and that's what's happening right now. Yeah, it's horrible.
Exactly. And this is, it really, when you think about it, this is a life or death decision.
It absolutely
is. It's a very serious issue. This is more than just about, affordable, because this isn't affordable care. It's more than about, what I think the increase in terms of what families are going to be paying for health care is way over $2,000. You're talking about a family being able to go out and get adequate, good care for themselves or their kids, and not having that ability. They did exactly what they said they were set out to not do.
That's right. And the deal is this, is that we need to have a freedom of choice when it comes to, what doctors can we see? I don't know if you know this, but there's regulations trying to come down the pipe on everything. Even you're talking about vitamins. They're trying to regulate vitamins so that you can you have to have a prescription to get a
vitamins.
It's happening in Europe right now. I have friends that practice
vitamins,
and they're regulating them. So are you kidding me? When you have Medicaid or you have your EBT, plan that you can go out and do your food stamps with, you can buy ho-hos, cupcakes. Like I was telling you.
Tell me the story. Okay.
I promise this is not made up. So I'm at Walmart. God bless Walmart. It's the only place that's open at 2 in the morning where I can go get my groceries. But the deal is, so I'm there in line, literally. There's a gentleman in front of me in line. He is getting diabetic medication, high blood pressure medication. He's using his Medicaid card to pay with that, okay? Mm-hmm. He is also, in his cart, he has 2 cartons of donuts. He's got a huge gallon of vanilla ice cream, diet soda, and then a carton of cigarettes. So the guy uses his debit card, his EBT card, his food stamps to pay for his food, whips out a wad of 20s. That makes me jealous. I work my butt off every day, and I don't have a wad of 20s like that. And he pulls it out and pays for his carton of cigarettes like that. That's what I'm talking about. It's a broken system. The house of cards must fall. We have to have this system fail and push the reset button and start over from the ground up, period.
Amen to that. Dr. Eric Nepute. And when I say he's my rock doc, you need to check him out. I kind of don't want to send people your way because then I don't want everybody to go to you and they may not be able to get in.
We'll work out something.
So, I don't know, maybe. No, you got to go check him out, seriously. He hooks me up with my Myers cocktail. You keep me alive, basically.
We do what we can. So I encourage
Check him
you,
out.
check me out Sundays at 3 on the radio show. Let's do it.
Amen. What's your website?
Nepute Wellness, Nepute Wellness. You can Twitter, Facebook us. Get plugged in, baby.
That's it. Dr. Eric, as always, a pleasure. Love the hat, too. He's wearing a Don't Tread on Me hat if you're in your car. You're not watching on the cam. Quick break, folks. We got a headlines, your calls coming up. Keep it here.